Darwinex Zero provides you with the opportunities to build up your trading track record and attract investor capital to your trading strategy. Following on from the previous video where I talked you through what you'll see in the Darwinex Zero platform during the training stage, in this video I continue with that journey, starting at the point your Darwin Index gets created here. Remember, it's the Darwin Index that will allow you to participate in the monthly Seed Allocation Programme DarwinIA, which has two tiers, Silver and Gold. And once you reach DarwinIA Gold, you'll also be able to attract third-party investor capital. One of the first things that you'll notice is that your Darwin's quote price has now appeared here. The baseline starting quote value for all Darwins is 100. So a quote above 100 means that the Darwin is effectively in profit, and a value less than 100 means it's currently in loss. So in the example here, a quote of 190 means that this Darwin has managed to almost double in value during its lifetime. In this same panel, you'll also be able to see what the performance has been during the current day. So in this example, the quote has gone down by 0.38, representing a fall of 0.2%. Below this, you can see a summary of your performance in the current month's Seed Capital Allocation Programme DarwinIA. Firstly, you'll be able to see whether you're currently participating in Silver or Gold. In this example, it's Silver, and you can see that the Darwin is currently in position 34, after rising 2 positions today. Now you'll notice that it says this position is temporary. That's because the positions won't be finalised until the end of each month. As you build up your track record and your Darwin meets a threshold return over drawdown ratio, you'll qualify for the Gold tier, giving you a chance to participate with other elite traders for higher allocations and for a 6-month period instead of just 3 months with Silver. Consult the website for the exact current criteria, as these may change over time. Remember that an additional benefit of the Gold tier is that you can also start to attract third-party capital from investors, which will help you increase your earning potential with 15% of the profits you generate for those investors. Back to DarwinIA Silver, you're going to want to know how your position and allocation is determined. Allocations in this tier are based on your rating. You'll need to meet the minimum required rating to get an allocation, and if in addition you outperform other Darwins that are participating in your tier, you'll of course access larger allocations. You can see in this example that the current rating for this Darwin is just over 90. The calculation behind this is based on your return in the current month, and also your return and drawdown from previous recent months, which is why it's always good to be consistent with your trading. But what's really nice is that you can use the rating calculator to get an idea of what level of return you'll need in the current month in order to achieve different allocation amounts at the end of the month. You can access the rating calculator here. By adjusting the slider for this month's expected return, you can see how this is likely to affect your position in DarwinIA Silver, but also how this would determine the seed capital allocation you would receive if you did achieve this level of return. Remember, these are just estimates because it will depend on how other participants perform also. But in this example, if this month's return was 3.2% by the time the month ended, it's estimated that this would achieve position 14 and mean you received an allocation of €70,000. And you can try out different values on the slider to better understand the impact this month's return will have. What's really cool is that because your rating is calculated based on both the current month and previous months, if your historical performance is good enough, it would still be possible to get an allocation in Silver even if your current month's return is negative. What's more, don't worry about not getting onto the leaderboard if you don't have a huge track record. If you don't have the full length, we'll simply take the return and drawdown figures that have accrued since inception of your Darwin. All seed capital allocations are virtual or notional, but provide compensation to the trader in the form of performance fees. These allocations are a mechanism that we use to help produce a more stimulating environment for traders in the short term, while they build a reliable track record that will appeal to investors in the future. You'll receive these allocations for 3 months if you're in the silver tier and 6 months if you're in DarwinIA Gold, and then you'll earn 15% of any profit you make on them during that time. That's real money for you to withdraw and use as you choose. What's really great about DarwinIA Silver is that if you meet the required minimum rating, then you're guaranteed an allocation regardless of how well other participants perform. Bear in mind that this minimum rating can change month to month, but you'll always be able to find out what it is by looking here or here. So don't think that if all other participants have a great month, it will be hard for you to get an allocation. That's not necessarily the case. Take a sensible and consistent approach to your trading to maintain a high rating, and you'll be guaranteed an allocation whatever. Obviously though, the better you perform, the higher the allocation will be. Finally, in terms of your historical DarwinIA performance, the next 3 panels show you your best and average historic rankings, the current allocation amount within those 3 or 6 month windows, in addition to the total amount that you've ever been allocated. And underneath here, you'll see the badges you've earned for various achievements along the way. If you're pleased with your performance, then remember to shout about it. We've made it really easy for you to share your achievements on social media directly from the D0 platform, or alternatively via a link that you can post on any of the trading forums or blogs that you participate in. Once your Darwin is created, you'll also see these 4 additional tabs get activated alongside your Signal account tab that's been with you from the beginning. Return over risk, correlation, assets and timeframes, and strategy analysis. These contain a wealth of metrics and analytics about your Darwin, which can give you unique insights to help you adapt and improve your performance. I go into more detail about each of these in their own videos, so be sure to watch them if you're interested in finding out more. Lastly, you might have been wondering what this Darwin Live Trades area is that's appeared here. Well, do you remember in the previous video where I showed you this schematic? It explained the difference between your Signal account and your Darwin, and how the Darwinex risk engine adjusts risk between them. Well, the Live Trade section provides more information about this risk adjustment process in order to help with transparency of how that process is operating. Click on it and take a look. I'll also be covering this in more detail in a future video. You can find a link to all Darwinex Zero videos in this video's description, and a link to our next recommended video is provided on screen now. Also, to make sure you get all the latest news and updates on Darwinex Zero, don't forget to follow us on our social media accounts as shown on screen now.